Hey guys, this is Matt with another 1v1. We're on round 3 of the 1v1 tournament for $1 million on M&B Factions. We have darthdummy facing off against TermHD. We saw Term get booted from the event earlier on, but showed incredible sportsmanship in that event. And as a result, he's being allowed to take the place of a missing player that is not on right now who would otherwise be taking part in this. I actually don't know who that is, but here we see Term and darthdummy going at it. darthdummy just using his MCMMO ability, and Term's going after him. So we'll see who's going to win here. If Term can somehow come back with this and get back into the event, which would be really cool from my perspective. Not that I don't love you too, Darth, but I love Term more. So that's just the way it is. But these guys are going after now. Darth's on the offensive and spinning around. Darth is known as the leader of Erebo Gopes, one of the strongest factions on the server. And incredibly wealthy as a in-game player. He's eaten gapples here, and rumor has it that Darth eats gapples just to keep his hunger up because he can't be bothered eating food, and that's just how rich he is. But so we'll see here if his resources come to help him out here, or if Term manages to get through those resources. I'm certain that Darth's going to be eating a gapple every 25 seconds. For as long as he possibly can, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's got a stack of gapples on him right now. So here we go. Term's continuing to fight on. Plenty of gapples being eaten already. Term's now breaking off to get some potion in him. Darth's going after him. Just took out Term's helmet, and you could see the knockback effect there. Term just flew across the screen. Second pot was drank there, and now a gapple. And assuming he's able to get that down, then he does. Then he's going to be on the offensive again. And both these guys are doing lots of maneuvers here, trying to stay out of each other's hit range, get past a lot of strafing maneuvers, spinning around, all that kind of stuff. Now it's Darth's turn to pot up, and Term's going after him. Oftentimes I see players jumping on each other to get those critical hits while their opponent is otherwise incapacitated with taking potions or whatever. Darth lost his helmet, Term lost his boots. Both managed to replace those without too much trouble, and lots of gapples being eaten here as players are investing in this $1 million prize pot. Now, it looks like TermHD has lost his chest plate. He's got to replace that quickly. It looks like he does, but he's very, very vulnerable during that time when his chest plate is inaccessible when it's down. So he's now pursuing darthdummy, and both these guys, again, have made it to round 3. Therefore, they are effective PvPers. Term is definitely known as a strong PvPer, has won our free-for-all event at one point. Term broke off to see if he can get a gapple down. Looks like he does get it down, and looks like Darth's turn to gapple as well. Probably lots of gapples in their inventory, so if one of them manages to die early on, the other one is going to not only be getting moving closer to that $1 million prize pot, but potentially getting a ton of gapples. So they've got to be sure to use those gapples to spend them. Don't try to be stingy with them, guys. That's a mistake that I've made. And so here's Term eating another gapple, and Darth is going after him, breaking off to eat his own gapple right now. Term's hitting him as strongly as he can while that happens, and both guys are still enjoying Regen 5, which is almost impossible to burn through. Certainly in a 1v1, it's probably not possible, but especially with the Resistance 5 that gapples also present. So guys spinning around here and watching that timer. It's going to be time to gapple in just a minute. Darthdummy is breaking off, and let's see if he's got a pot in hand. He does. Term's socking him up while he's trying to drink that pot. Oh, interesting. Darth just tossed, looks like a poison pot at Term in order to get that poison effect in play, and it looks like Term is now suffering from poison. We'll see how long it lasts. Darth's now gappling, see if he's able to get it down. He does manage to get it down, and at this point Darth is running around and loses his helmet. I haven't seen Darth take too many swings recently. Term just lost his helmet, both of them going through armor at a similar rate, it seems like. Presumably they're landing similar numbers of blows on each other, in which case this will come down to a resource grind to see who's more prepared. And in that case, I'm going to guess that darthdummy would be the one to come out on top if that's the case. But who knows? There could be a surprise. Here's Term going for a gapple again. Probably darthdhummy's turn to gapple, and there he goes. And keeping that Regen 5 up, which is absolutely critical. We've got an MCMMO ability. I couldn't tell who actually did that. And now it's TermHD, who lost his boots, manages to replace them. Darth is attempting to throw pots there. I'm not sure if that pot actually hit or not. Looked like it was a bit off the mark. But notice that darthdummy is not on fire, which means he has not been hit in some time. The God Swords that we have fire aspect 2, which means that the flame impact is for 8 seconds. So that's quite a while. So when people are not actually on fire, it means they haven't been hit for 8 seconds, just like Term right there. Term just lost his chest plate, manages to swap it out very quickly. Well done. These guys are doing a good job managing their inventory, making sure they have replacement armor in the right place on their hot slot, so they're able to get it back into play very quickly. Nice little knockback there on darthdummy from TermHD, and continuing to battle it out. So the gapples are being eaten, the armor's being swapped out, and that inventory is going to be looking barer and barer as they burn through their armor. So this may come down to see who's brought the right replacements, to who's able to make all this happen. Now, when Modmaster called for these two contestants to battle it out, and here they are grabbing potions. Term was ready relatively quickly. Darth needed quite a bit of time. I was thinking to myself, he's probably counting all of his gapples, deciding how many stacks to bring, because again, he is a leader of a very wealthy faction. Here we have another broken piece of armor. I can't see what exactly was broken. Looks like Term just lost his helmet. We'll see if he's got another replacement, but he's already gone through quite a few, so I'm not seeing him swap it out, which suggests either it's not readily available in his inventory or he does not have one. Oh, he does. There, he was able to get it down, and now he's potting. And another pot goes down, and they are once again at it. So making sure to keep their strength up. Term is now gappling. It's always a dangerous thing, I think, when you see someone gappling, because you know that they have are in need of a replacement for that regen, and if they've waited too long, then that's the time when they could be taken out. So continuing to battle it out. Lots of jumping coming from darthdummy. He's trying to get critical hits on TermHD. TermHD seems to be keeping more on the ground and doing a little bit more of the strafing from side to side. We'll see if that impacts who's going to win there. For a second there, we saw Term lose Darth, and now he's back on him, going after each other. Lots of hard blows hitting. Term's trying to get a gapple down. He got that gapple down, and it took him a minute to get out of the gapple and back onto his sword. But they're again going at it quite aggressively. Lots of potion particles, status effect particles coming off of both of them as they are making heavy use of pots. We just saw, I think that was TermHD making use of his serrated strikes ability. Now he's breaking off to gapple, and we can see that there's presumably some damage, ongoing damage being taken by darthdummy as a result of serrated strikes. That was a really, really long serrated strikes. And if that was TermHD that was the one that did that, he's got a very, very high sword skill. TermHD just lost his helmet. That's what, the 4th helmet he's lost. He's now in his inventory. He's got that replaced. Well done. And I saw he had a pot and then a gapple in hand, so he's got some more resources still in there. But again, they've got to be looking low. Oh, it looks like TermHD just lost his chest plate. That's like, I think, the 3rd time I've seen. He managed to replace it. Well done. Got away. If had darthdummy pursued him, it's possible he could have done him in at that moment while he was vulnerable without that chest plate, but that was not to be. So he then runs in, smacks darthdummy again. Both guys remaining on fire, meaning they are being hit regularly by the other, at least once every 8 seconds. So we'll see how this all turns out. Continuing to go at it. This is really an epic battle here. And the occasional arrow being fired in from the peanut gallery. Darthdummy breaks off to gapple. This is the time when players are going to start getting a little bit tired, start making mistakes. So I see Term aggressively hitting Darth several times and strafing around him, getting around from the side and behind him, just like this moment right here we see, and attempting to get those hits while not taking hits of their own. And Modmaster, any day now, someone is going to die. That's the theory. Darthdummy now in the corner. TermHD is taking the opportunity to hit him and hit him repeatedly with jumps in order to get those serrated strike hits on him. And now it's Term's time to gapple. Darth just used his MCMMO ability a little bit back there, and still we haven't seen the red firework indicating that it's over, meaning that he has a very high sword skill. Darthdummy just lost his helmet. He's in the corner. He's being hit hard, and let's see if this is going to be enough. No, he manages to get that gapple down and blast back with a knockback effect on Term, getting himself out of the corner and going on the offensive. So now Darthdummy is gappling yet again. How many gapples can this guy eat? There's just so many gapples going down. Term's also been eating them by the boatload. I would guess that we've seen at least a dozen gapples from either party, maybe 2 dozen. It's hard to keep track with this much going on. Term's now potting, and Darth Dummy comes over. Looks like it's his turn to pot, and both of them getting ready. Term is suffering the effects of serrated strikes on him, and let's see if this is going to happen. So presumably these guys may be in their E-chests now. I think both these guys are overlords, so they have the E-chest ability, that's /E-chest, allowing them to get into their E-chest without it being physically present. And now Darth's on the attack. Both of them were out of combat long enough for the fire to be off. Now Term's lost his helmet. He's running with the helmet in hand. Let's see if he's going to be able to replace it. Oh, it looks like he's looked like lag for a second there, perhaps, where he was not able to get that helmet on. Interesting, we saw him with the helmet in hand, yet he's not wearing it. I don't know if that was an oversight or what, but he's fighting helmetless right now, and this may be an indication that his resources are running out, and that Darth Dummy is going to take this from a resources perspective. Terms now gappling. Let's see if he gets that gapple down. Looks like he does. He's running off, still not replacing the helmet. So he's fighting helmetless, despite the fact that it looked like he had a helmet in his hand. Maybe he did put that helmet on and it broke immediately. I think I just saw a helmet enter his inventory again, and it does have it on now. So looks like, what's this? Weber boy dropping helmet. What are you doing? He shouldn't be doing that. Interfere. But looks like we just had some boots lost on Term. Term manages to replace them. I'm using the Weber boys in Erbo Gopes, the same faction as Darth Dummy, so he may be actually supplying his leader's enemy with some well-timed armor. More potions going down, more gapples, and Term jumps on him looking for those critical hits while he's facing the other direction, and they're both back at it once again. So fighting it out. Looks like Darth Dummy has a helmet, now a gapple in hand, and still fighting. Still, though, you saw some serrated strikes, particles come out of there. Term's going after Darth Dummy. Darth's got his potions out, and more things breaking right there. Looks like Term has lost his chest plate again. That's like the third chest plate. Manages to replace it. Darth is attempting to hit him with a poison pot. Looks like it was somewhat of a miss, but no, I can see poison hitting TermHD. The way the rules work with poison is that the closer you are to where the pot blows up, the longer the effect lasts. So we'll see how long that poison effect lasts. But it's interesting that Darth decided to dedicate a slot of his inventory, one of his precious slots, to a poison potion, and I'm sure he wanted to use it. So again, just an absolute grind fest here with these two going on. Darth Dummy and Term both breaking off now, potting up. Looks like that ongoing damage from the poison pot is taking its toll on TermHD. Not sure there's much damage actually being done there, but it's certainly annoying. And now it looks like Term just gappled. He's going after Darth. Darth's going to be next in line to gapple, and he's going through his inventory. We can see the gapples in hand. He manages to get it down, back with his sword. Now Term's breaking off, going for a... well, that must have been a swiftness potion, seeing how quickly he took off there. Now he's jumping, trying to get those critical hits on Darth Dummy. And again, lots of spinning around, lots of strafing, kind of like a dance down there. But a deadly one for $1 million. We'll see who's going to actually win this. Breaking off, Term just potted a couple times. He hasn't hit Darth in a while because you can see Darth's was no longer on fire. But that's a rude awakening from your inventory to have some guy who just got a strength 2 pot down jumping on you and attacking. Darth is gappling, managed to get that gapple down. Now Term's using his MCMMO ability. And looking like Darth's doing the same. Both of them in their MCMMO abilities trying to get whatever advantage they can against the other. Term just gappled. And right now both of them are taking the effect of serrated strikes. The one with the higher sword skill will have that serrated strikes ability last longer. And it looks like they both ended about the same time, so they both have similar swords abilities. So probably no real advantage one over the other. Darth just got a nice hit on Term. You saw that knockback effect along with particles from a critical hit from jumping. And Darth's turn to get in the inventory and gapple, keeping close watch on that timer, that regen timer. And Term's going after him as well. I haven't seen Term gapple in a little while, so I'm not sure if he's low on resources or if he's just managed to do it without me noticing. But he's definitely on the offensive, definitely on the attack. They've got to be getting low on resources at this point. So now Term's helmet is gone. It seems like Term's been the one that's been landing more hits, but he's gone through 5 helmets now, just gappled at long last. And now he's on Darth, jumping for those critical hits. Darth gets another gap down, going through his inventory. We haven't seen any fire on Term in a little while, which means that he hasn't been hit. And finally, Darth Dummy starts hitting back. So lots of hits on Darth Dummy, but he seems to be surviving it. I'm guessing he's got to have Unbreaking 3 P4. Darth Dummy can afford that kind of stuff, especially with his in-game wealth and the faction to support him. Term finally gets hit again. Once again, we saw that TermHD went for quite a while without fire on him, which means that he's able to not gapple, and he's able to save his armor because he's not being hit that way. So I just saw some armor get broken. I'm guessing it was Terms, but I didn't actually see what was broken. And now we've got, looks like pants were broken and boots were broken. He's gappling. Let's see if he gets that down. He does manage to get that down, but the armor has been a sore spot for Term. I haven't seen armor break too much on Darth. I mean, there's Term again. What is that, like his 6th helmet? Something like that. So Term is definitely having to do a lot to manage his armor. But I haven't seen Darth have to go into his inventory that often. I'm guessing it's because he spent the time to make Unbreaking 3 armor, which of course has multiple of the durability of standard protection 4 armor. So continuing on to battle, these guys just going after it. And now we have other people coming down to the arena mods that Echo Soldier and Die, it looks like, which were goofing off. But these two still having at it. I'd love to see their inventories and see what's remaining in there. Maybe I'll ask ModMaster to give me access to InC, which allows the ability to see inventories during this time, just so I can commentate on that. Darth Dummy's now gappling, and Term's just smacking him up. Multiple hits on Darth while he was in his inventory, while he was gappling. And now TermHD's turn to be in his inventory. He's running here, got a gapple in hand. He just finished eating it. He's now potting, and looks like Darth Dummy is swapping out inventory, getting ready for armor to break, possibly. And TermHD's again potting once more. And these two are breaking off for a minute. Now Term's jumping in here. He's got some poison effects on him. I didn't actually see that poison pot land, but clearly he was. Now Darth's gappling and got his armor in there, probably expecting to be losing a chest plate or something like that based on what he's having in his hand. And now it's Term's turn to have his chest plate in hand. Presumably it's low on damage. And there they go. Once again, and there now we have Term just lost his chest plate, just replaced it. So that's what, the 3rd chest plate I think I've seen Term go through. So definitely an unbalance here in terms of armor being destroyed. And I've got to believe it's more around the unbreaking ability than not. I could be wrong on that, but it'll be interesting. I might want to interview these guys afterwards, just because this has been such a long and epic battle. Term hasn't been hit in a while. You can see he's no longer on fire. So and he's landing hits regularly on Darth Dummy. So I think it's clear from a pure skills perspective, at least in my mind, that Term is being more effective as a combatant. And but he's running away, so I've got to believe that his resources are extremely low. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this onslaught, there it is. Darth Dummy has more resources, managed to outlast Term, and with that, Darth Dummy wins. Good game.